We're following some breaking news now in the Capitol riot investigation. For the third time, the House committee conducting that probe will move to hold a key Trump ally in contempt. The former president's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, failed to show for his scheduled deposition before the House panel this morning. NBC News national political reporter Sahil Kapoor joins us now. And Sahil, walk us through Meadows' argument for not showing up.
Aaron, Meadows has been back and forth and now back again in terms of cooperating with the January 6th committee. He started off by stonewalling them, then agreed to supply documents and appear voluntarily for deposition, and then kind of made a U-turn in the last few days saying no, in fact, he's not going to do it. Now, he argues that the claim of executive privilege as asserted by the former president has not been resolved. It should be resolved by the courts. He says the committee has not demonstrated respect for that claim of executive privilege, and as a result, his legal team says he's not cooperating. Now, the committee put out a response that was released this morning in which they reject that claim. They said they've gone out of their way to try to respect his claims of executive privilege, and even offering him on a question-by-question basis to assert that. They say that given his conduct, they have no choice but to hold him in contempt, refer him to the Justice Department for criminal prosecution. Meadows, in fact, talked about this yesterday. I want to roll the tape of what he had to say.
We've tried to work with the committee to provide them and even offered them other options in terms of answering questions, that if this has got a true legislative intent, we want to help them fix the problem where it never happens again. But I can tell you that they've been pretty aggressive about holding people in contempt, and they'll do what they need to do. And at this point, hopefully the courts can work it out.
And the committee's response, of course, that is a no-go. They will vote to hold him in contempt, refer that to the House, and send it to the DOJ for prosecution, much as they have with Steve Bannon and more recently Jeffrey Clark.
You know, Sahil, invoking the Fifth Amendment has become an increasingly popular tactic for some of the witnesses this committee has wanted to see. Roger Stone, we know, for example, a longtime senior advisor to the former president, said through his attorney that he will invoke his right not to testify. What's been the committee's reaction to that?
Yeah, members of the committee have been asked about this, and a number of them, including the chairman, Benny Thompson, have said the Fifth Amendment is, invoking the Fifth Amendment, rather, is a constitutional right, and they respect that. But the issue here is that they're still trying to get the information that is important. And some members of the committee have pointed out that invoking the Fifth is only relevant here if they're trying to avoid what one member, Stephanie Murphy, called a criminal situation in a conversation yesterday with our colleague Ali Vitale. So the committee's response is essentially, why are you invoking the Fifth Amendment? We're just trying to get information. No one's accusing you of any crime here, and you're acting as if you are, you're acting as if you are accused of a crime. So the response has generally been to raise an eyebrow and say, why is this even necessary here, Aaron?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.